So if you guys have been watching my videos for quite a while, you guys would probably know I am a massive Jake Gyllenhaal fan. In fact, I would go as far to say that Jake Gyllenhaal is probably up there as one of my favorite actors of all time, if not top 3. And I can confidently say that on YouTube. I'm not scared of the Taylor Swift fangirls coming at me and saying, you know, Jake Gyllenhaal's terrible because this and that, and Taylor's written so many songs about him. I couldn't give less of a crap, and in fact, if Jake Gyllenhaal wanted to, I would probably let him sit on my face. That's how much of a Jake Gyllenhaal fan I am. And one thing I have always said about Jake Gyllenhaal is that I think it would be an outstanding idea for this guy to potentially play Batman one day. And with James Gunn creating a new Batman movie titled The Brave and the Bold for his upcoming DC universe, a ton of speculation has gone out about who Gunn could potentially hire to, of course, play Batman. This has led to a ton of people suggesting that maybe Jensen Ackles could be a good actor to play him. Alan Ritchson as well has had a ton of mentions that he could be another really good actor. And of course, one here being Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, I actually made a video about a year or so ago saying I believe Jake Gyllenhaal would be the perfect actor to play Batman. Of course, it seems like a ton of other people do agree with me as well, with a reporter actually going as far to ask Jake Gyllenhaal what his thoughts and opinions would be about doing this, where he did say that he would love to play Batman in James Gunn's new DC universe. It says Jake Gyllenhaal, says he would love to play Batman in the DCU. It would be an honor always. These types of things and roles are classics. He was a candidate to play the role in the Dark Knight trilogy. Now, again, I think Jake Gyllenhaal is a fantastic actor. Is he a little too old to play Batman? I'm not exactly too sure. With how James Gunn is going to have this DC universe, there is a big rumor going around that his characters could be, or at least most of them, the same age as what the actors are. Again, I believe like most of the Superman cast will be following that trend. That doesn't mean he has to do that for all these other type of movies. And again, this Batman could reportedly be about 35 to 40. Gyllenhaal's only 43. Again, he does fit that age description, and this guy is still in incredible shape and looks like a man who would be a perfect candidate to be able to, of course, do this. Again, Jensen Ackles is still like another 4 or 5 years older than Gyllenhaal, and I just think him being about 47, 48, I believe, is a little too old, potentially. Gyllenhaal being about, I think he's 42 or 43, still kind of fits the criteria. You really do want to hire a guy that is going to be able to be here for the next 10 to 15 years, right? Very similar to how Robert Downey Jr. did. You want to hire a guy who is also not going to age too quickly. I think a lot of studios are going to learn from the Mark Ruffalo issue with the MCU. Again, when Ruffalo was hired to play the Hulk in 2011, 2012, again, movie came out in 2012, probably filmed in 11. It didn't look very old, but as we know, over like 6 years, Ruffalo aged like really quick. Like, he had grey hair really fast. He was looking so much older by the time we got to Thor Ragnarok. And look, we don't obviously know if that's going to happen to Jensen Ackles. It could happen to really anyone, but a lot of studios will be seeing that and being like, you know, crap, like, you don't want an actor who's too old to play an actor, or to play a character who he's already going to be older than to start off with. Again, I think this Batman's going to be about 35 to 40. Gyllenhaal's already 43. If you're going with a 35-year-old Batman, like the rumors do say they will be, that does leave a little bit of like, is Gyllenhaal a little bit too old? I'm not too sure. I don't personally think so. I think he looks really good, and he looks like if you told me Jake Gyllenhaal was 35, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, the dude looks in like mint condition, right? I'm kind of sound like I like men here, but you know what? It's Jake Gyllenhaal, and the guy's the GOAT. The only, I think, major issue I have with this is, will Jake Gyllenhaal want to commit to a role like Batman for this long? I'm just not exactly too sure. Again, I feel like 5 to 10 years ago, no way would Jake Gyllenhaal commit to like at least 6 movies minimum, right? Which is probably what it's going to do. It's probably going to be about 2 to 3 Batman, a couple Justice League movies, some other projects, right? When old Jake Gyllenhaal from a couple years ago would not have committed to that at all. Difference is, Jake Gyllenhaal has changed his career now so much. He's got a completely different career trajectory that he didn't have a couple of years ago. He was doing a lot of those thrillers and dramas for a long time. A lot of those like Oscar-worthy type of stuff. For example, some of the movies he's done, like Prisoners, Zodiac, and Southpaw, you can tell really just did, I think, take a toll on him. Like all of those Oscar type of movies that a lot of actors, again, obviously do, but after a while of doing those thrillers and dramas, it just, I guess, becomes tiring, it becomes less fun, and you really have to put your mental ability into being an actor in those movies. And that's why I think a lot of actors really do burn out from these movies and start to do like comedies later in their career and just different type of things. With Jake Gyllenhaal, you can clearly tell this has been action movies, with him doing Guy Ritchie's movie last year. He did Roadhouse this year, and I think he's doing another Guy Ritchie movie in 2025. So even though I think that, I'm not sure if Jake Gyllenhaal would commit to like a big 6 movie type deal, which he would have to do if he wanted to be Batman, I do know that I think a role like this, which will definitely be a lot of action, will be something that I think Jake Gyllenhaal is looking to do. He's obviously already one of the greatest actors of all time. I've got my puppy in the background crying. Sorry about that, but he's already one of the greatest actors of all time. And I think to even take your career to another level, which a lot of actors would have never ever seen, Jake Gyllenhaal being the Batman would be a really, really good idea. And again, that's not to say that even if he wanted to do still a little bit of like thriller and drama type stuff, that's not to say he can't do that with the Batman. We obviously saw in Robert Pattinson's one, it was like a thriller crime story. So Jake Gyllenhaal could definitely really go down that avenue. There's obviously the action avenue that's there for him as well. And again, just the legacy of playing Batman is sitting right there. There's never really been an actor who hasn't played Batman now who hasn't got an incredibly insane legacy. Christian Bale is considered as one of the greatest actors of all time. Again, Robert Pattinson did a lot of terrific indie movies before the Batman came out. You got Michael Keaton, who has had a lot of ups and downs, but has got a ton of fantastic movies out there, like The Founder and was Batman. Jake Gyllenhaal's already got those fantastic movies sitting right there. He's already got one of the greatest legacies any actor could ever ask for. Again, rarely there's a next step, but the next step for him could be legitimately being one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic comic book character of all time. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys think Jake Gyllenhaal would be a good actor to play the Batman in James Gunn's DCU Brave and the Bold movie? I'd very much like to know. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Subscribe to my sports channel and my IRL/vlog channels. Also, link in the description down below, and this one, of course. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.